Hello, welcome to the Tennessee Tech University Counseling Center website. We hope you enjoy our Digital Success Workshop series. If after the workshop you have any questions, please call us at 931-372-3331. And as always, if you or someone else you know is having a mental health emergency, please call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Thank you. Welcome to the Counseling Center Digital Workshop series. Today we'll be presenting Keeping Yourself and Your Classroom Safe. This workshop is a specific resource for faculty and staff of Tennessee Tech University. This workshop is being brought to you by the Tennessee Tech University Counseling Center and Paperclip Communications. Working on a college campus should raise emotions of happiness and anticipation, not fear and anxiety. The increase in school violence, both in K-12 school systems and in higher education, has probably forced you to question your own safety on campus. You may have thought, what if something happened in my classroom? Or what if something happened in my office? Faculty members create student learning environments based on principles of challenge and support, relationship building, and open door policies. How can you maintain underlying principles at the heart of your work while making every effort to keep yourself and the campus community as safe as possible? Be observant and alert. In many instances of violence, there are warning signs well in advance. Take note of unusual or troubling student or colleague behavior and alert the proper authorities to these concerns. Lock it up. How many times have you gone somewhere without locking your office door? When working in your office late at night or early in the morning, lock your door. Model emergency behavior. Tragedy provides an unfortunate reminder of the value in being prepared for any crisis to occur. Model the way by demonstrating the importance of cooperating with emergency preparedness drills. Run through emergency evacuation procedures at the start of each semester or quarter. It will take some valuable time but could make a world of difference in the event of an emergency. The buddy system. The buddy system isn't just for students. When you walk to your car at night or to a late meeting across campus, walk with someone or request a campus escort. Try to host evening and early morning office hours at the same time as a colleague so you're never alone in your department. Never make a promise you can't keep. It's common for students to go to faculty seeking a listening ear, experienced wisdom and advice. Sometimes during these exchanges, they may ask you to promise not to disclose something they have shared. Protect yourself and potentially others, and never make that promise prior to hearing what they have to share. You are obligated to take information that leads you to believe individuals may pose a threat to themselves or others to the appropriate people. Plus, it's often the best way to get students the help that they need. Stay connected. Stay up to date on your institution's emergency plans and policies. Routinely ask if any changes have been made that you or your colleagues should know about. Save written correspondence. Keep a record of all written exchanges you have with colleagues and students. Should a problem present itself, you may need the files to establish a pattern of behavior. Open your door. Keep your office or classroom door open cracked when meeting with individuals. You may also want to design your office so that your desk is closest to the door. You'll be less likely to be accused of something behind closed doors. You'll have an accessible exit if threatened, and your voice will carry more effectively if necessary. There are many resources right on your very own campus that are available should you encounter difficult student or colleague behavior. Many campus professionals have received extensive training on how to deal with difficult students, emergencies, and workplace violence. Contact the following resources for assistance: University Police, Student Affairs, Office of Residential Life, your Counseling Center, your Dean of Students, and Human Resources. Emergency Preparedness Plans. It's important to be prepared to manage emergencies. Cover your bases. According to the Canadian Safety Council, the 4 pillars of emergency management are prevention and mitigation. These are measures to reduce or eliminate the effects of a crisis. Preparedness. These are measures that are put in place to ensure an effective response to an emergency. Response. These are actions to respond to an event. Recovery. These are actions to recover from the effects of an incident. Do you feel prepared and confident in all these areas? Review your emergency safety manuals provided to you by your campus. If something doesn't make sense or if something seems to be missing, let someone know immediately. Your concerns as a faculty staff member are important. You'll know your classroom the best. To be effective, an emergency plan must be rehearsed regularly, and not always for the same type of event. Involve all necessary staff and students in these rehearsals. You may also want to keep a copy of the campus emergency procedures with you in the classroom and your car, and maybe even your briefcase, so you'll have them on hand in case something arises. Many campuses are instituting broad safety measures. You may view these measures as an invasion of privacy or an inconvenience. Unfortunately, no campus, no matter how small or quaint, is immune from human-made or natural disasters in today's world. Take requests to cooperate with these policies and procedures seriously. Widespread conversations on school safety have resulted in numerous best practices that many campuses are choosing to employ. Whether it's instituting a mass text messaging notification system that requires the sharing of your personal cell number or a video surveillance camera in your classroom building, these measures are all designed with your safety in mind. What if? Think about a number of potentially threatening and emergency scenarios. In conjunction with your department and institutional procedures, what would you do if you received a worrisome or threatening email, text message, or instant message? A student had an emotional breakdown in your classroom. You noticed bizarre, questionable, or troubling behavior in a student or colleague. A natural disaster struck the campus. You were approached in the parking lot by a distraught student. You felt threatened or bullied by a colleague. There's a variety of threats to think about. By considering appropriate responses now, you'll be better prepared in the event of a real-life situation. You can use your cell phone as an emergency tool. Putting ICE, or in case of emergency contact numbers, in your cell phone is a simple emergency preparedness strategy. Experts suggest that programming the acronym ICE, I-C-E, followed by the name and number of a family member or friend who EMTs, the police, or hospital staff can contact if you're ill or unable to respond. These ICE individuals should be available much of the time and know your important medical condition. Take a few minutes to input this information in your phone today. Where do I start? You're concerned about a disruptive student or colleague, but you don't know where to go. You aren't sure if it's extensive enough to report to public safety. You aren't sure the student needs counseling, and you don't want to make the situation worse. If you don't know where to start, just don't stop. Go to your supervisor or go to your department chair and share your concerns. He or she will be able to determine what the situation calls for and how to best proceed. The important thing is that you act on your instincts instead of pushing the concerns aside. Behavioral warning signs. There's no clear-cut answers for those asking how to predict an unleashing of violence. It's difficult to identify those who will be pushed over the line. However, according to the American Psychological Association, violence is a serious possibility if these warning signs are witnessed. Repeated loss of temper, physical fighting, vandalism, property damage, increased use of substances, announcing plans or threats to commit acts of violence or hurt others, enjoyment in hurting animals, withdrawal from friends and usual activities, poor school performance, failing to acknowledge the feelings or rights of others. There are many other warning signs listed on the slides for you. If you suspect that a student or colleague should be a danger to themselves or others, report your observations and concerns to the appropriate people on campus. Chances are that if you're noticing something worrisome or potentially threatening, others are too. Your tip may be one of many that helps piece together pattern behavior. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Bullying behaviors impact today's world. As you're aware, bullying behaviors are prevalent in today's society. Bullying is not a new tactic. The nature of our modern world makes it easier for people to use technology and other weapons to carry out fantasies of seeking revenge. In many incidents of school violence, researchers have found that the perpetrator was bullied by peers or family members prior to the attack. Keep a close eye out for students or colleagues that are being bullied. You may feel like you're in a position of power and influence, that as a result, others would never attempt to bully you. Unfortunately, this power and influence could easily actually make you a target of this type of behavior. If you receive a threatening email, text message, or instant message, or experience potential stalking behavior, save it and let your department chair, supervisor, public safety officials know immediately. It's not an overreaction. These types of threats are serious. Don't wait until you receive several threats. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. It's important to talk with students about safety concerns. Today's students have unfortunately grown up in a world where school violence is a real concern. Images of Columbine, Virginia Tech, and other violent incidents have permeated the media. Therefore, students may feel some anxiety about their level of safety on campus. Consider talking with students about their safety concerns. Although you may feel it isn't your place to do so, it is. Let students know how they can protect themselves and others, while also sharing what's been done on campus to keep them safe. These types of caring, proactive conversations show students that campus faculty and administrators are taking their well-being and their fears seriously. So what's on students' minds? Here are some suggestions, following questions for students. What could we do on our campus to make you feel safer? What specific concerns do you have about our campus related to personal safety? What would you do if you were concerned or felt threatened by an individual on campus? What can I do to help alleviate your fears about school violence while in the classroom? Is there something we can do in the department? Remember, it is well within your role to have these conversations with students. Campus officials are often the first line of defense against school violence because they are responsible for recognizing and referring troubled students. Understanding potential myths, along with stark realities, may be helpful as you work day to day to decode the meanings behind student behavior. Just be careful that your focus on unusual or worrisome behaviors doesn't result in making assumptions about what types of students or persons commit violent acts. Let's debunk the myths. There are no demographic or socioeconomic commonalities that would allow authorities to develop a profile for identifying students who engage in targeted school violence. Attackers really snap or lose it. Most attackers demonstrate warning signs before a major event. In most cases, other people know about the attacker's idea or plan to attack. There's no guarantees that those who threaten to attack others will carry out on their promise. There's also no guarantees that those who do not threaten to attack others will not. Most attackers are not loners. In fact, in many cases, they're involved in activities and peer groups. Most attackers do not seek psychological help before an attack. However, many do have difficulty coping with significant losses or personal failures and have considered or attempted suicide. Many school shooting incidents have been stopped by other means than law enforcement intervention. Most attackers have access to or utilize weapons before attacking. Most attackers feel bullied, persecuted, or injured by others prior to attacking. Of those who seek help, many feel ignored. From 12 to 20 homicides occur each year on the 4,000 campuses in the United States. That data came from a Safe Schools Initiative study conducted by the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Secret Service. Some additional resources that you may want to research on school violence include Campus Safety Executive Newswire and Student Affairs Newswire, the U.S. Department of Education Emergency Planning Tools. Again, this workshop was brought to you by Paperclip Communications and the Tennessee Tech University Counseling Center. If you have any other questions regarding this workshop, please contact the University Counseling Center at 372-3331. Thank you. Thank you for watching our Student Success Digital Workshop. If you have any questions, call 372-3331. The Counseling Center is located at the Rhoden University Center, room 307. Our after-hours crisis hotline is 855-206-8997 or 931-372-3331. If you're experiencing crisis, you can also contact the Tennessee Crisis Text Line at TN 741-741. Thank you.